This roof should have failed 3 mistakes ago. It is made from discarded cardboard. The panels sagged during construction. One edge lifted as it dried, and part of the waterproof coating was exposed to moisture before it had fully cured. Yet water has now been pouring over it for 15 minutes, and underneath it is still dry. Either this roof is about to collapse, or we have misunderstood cardboard completely. Ordinary cardboard fails quickly in water. Its fibers swell, its layers separate, and its strength disappears. But water is not the only reason we underestimate it. We judge cardboard by the box it arrived in. Thin walls, open edges, one direction of strength, no protection. That is not the limit of the material. It is merely the weakest possible way to use it. Cardboard may be the easiest engineered material in the world to obtain for free. Shops discard it. Warehouses crush it. Homes send it directly to recycling. But corrugated cardboard is not simply thick paper. 2 flat skins are separated by a repeating internal structure. Those empty channels create stiffness without much weight, a principle seen in aircraft panels and lightweight engineering. Cardboard is already designed. We simply stop using that design the moment the package is opened. The first rule is direction. Push across the corrugation and the sheet folds easily. Push along it and the same sheet becomes far more rigid. Ignore that direction and cardboard behaves like rubbish. Use it deliberately and it becomes structural. But a single sheet still has obvious limits. The real transformation begins when several weak sheets stop working alone. Welcome to Forgotten Materials, where overlooked substances reveal abilities we stop noticing. To create a strong panel, laminate several sheets together. Rotate the corrugation between each layer. One layer resists force in one direction. The next protects the direction in which the first layer is weak. 5 properly bonded sheets become far stiffer than 5 loose sheets stacked together. This is the same basic logic that makes plywood strong. Direction creates strength, but only if the layers become one. The adhesive can be made from flour and water. Mix approximately 1 part ordinary flour with 5 parts water. Heat gently while stirring until it begins to thicken, then allow it to cool. This simple wheat paste spreads easily, costs almost nothing, and forms a surprisingly strong bond when completely dry. Cover the entire sheet. Do not leave isolated dry patches. Then press the layers flat. At first, the project may appear to be failing. Moisture from the paste temporarily softens the cardboard. The panel may sag, the surface may ripple, the layers may appear weaker than before. Then the water evaporates, the paper contracts, the sheets tighten against one another, and the loose stack becomes a single rigid panel. Never judge pasted cardboard while it is wet. Its final strength appears only after it has dried completely. But even the strongest panel still fails first at the edge. Open edges expose every internal channel. They crush easily and allow water to travel deep inside the panel. To seal an edge, cut through the upper surface without cutting through the final paper skin. Remove a narrow section of corrugation. Apply wheat paste, then fold the remaining skin around the edge. The result looks cleaner, resists crushing, and removes one of water's easiest entry points. For greater strength, add an outer paper shell. Paste overlapping strips of craft paper, paper bags or newspaper across the surface. Wrap them over corners and weak joints. Once dry, this shell spreads force across a much larger area. A properly bonded paper composite becomes hard enough to sand, fill, and paint. That is how cardboard furniture stops looking temporary. Connections matter as much as panels. Never rely on a narrow cardboard edge glue directly against a flat surface. Create wide flaps. Overlap the material. Cut interlocking slots. Where a screw is necessary, embed a wooden strip or dowel. The wood holds the fastener. The cardboard spreads the force across the structure. Hot glue may temporarily hold a joint while the wheat paste dries, but the wide pasted connection provides the lasting strength. Now the cardboard is rigid. The edges are protected. The joints are strong. Only one enemy remains: water. A successful waterproof coating must perform two different jobs. First, it must penetrate the paper and reduce the movement of moisture into the fibres. Second, it must create a surface from which liquid water rolls away. The most effective formula combines both behaviours, and the exact recipe is surprisingly simple. The exact formula uses 125 grams of dry shellac flakes, 15 grams of beeswax, and half a litre of alcohol above 90%, such as 91% isopropyl alcohol or suitable denatured alcohol. The alcohol is highly flammable. Prepare this only outdoors, away from buildings and anything that can ignite. Never use a gas burner or open flame. Use very low heat from an electric hot plate with eye protection and a suitable extinguisher nearby. Safety is not an optional ingredient. Warm the mixture gently while stirring until the shellac flakes dissolve and the beeswax melts. Then remove it from the heat. Continue stirring as it cools. Beeswax does not truly dissolve in alcohol. Instead, constant stirring breaks it into extremely small droplets suspended throughout the thickened shellac. This is an emulsion. The shellac carries the coating into the cardboard fibres. The wax remains closer to the surface, where it forces water to form beads rather than soaking in. Brush the mixture across every surface. Seal the top, the underside, every edge, every joint, and every puncture. Several controlled coats are better than one flooded layer. Then allow the coating to cure completely in dry conditions. A thick shellac coating may need 12 hours or more before it can safely meet moisture. Rain or dew arriving too soon can become trapped in the uncured surface. The material may survive the mistake, but the experiment becomes far less predictable. The experimental roof used overlapping cardboard shingles. Each higher row covered the edge beneath it, directing water downward. During construction, the wet paste softened the unsupported cardboard and caused it to sag. One front edge lifted while drying. The project appeared to be failing before the waterproofing test had even begun. But as the paste dried, the panels tightened. The surface became rigid. Then the shellac and wax coating was applied. Water poured across the roof for 15 minutes. It travelled over uneven shingles, imperfect joints, and a section damaged before the coating had cured. Yet underneath, the cardboard remained dry. That does not prove it will survive years of sunlight, frost, and storms. Only time can do that. But it proves cardboard's weakness is not as simple as it appears. Alternate the layers, protect the edges, strengthen the joints, add a paper shell, and seal every possible path for water. Cardboard will never replace wood everywhere. But for furniture, panels, models, storage, and experimental lightweight projects, it may replace more than we imagine. The material was never rare. It arrived at our doors every week. We opened it, removed what we valued, and threw the engineering away.